there, I'm back sooner as expected. I found some inspiration and some time. I don't know where, but I did. And yeah, I've built a new area within Leiden Zoo. This has been an area that has been planned from the start. When I was developing the plan for the zoo, it was always going to be there. Um, and yeah, I finally found the time and inspiration to work on this area. So as you could kind of guess, this is a episode about cats. This used to be the big cat house or the feline house, and it housed yeah our large cats. The building was developed and built around the same time as the former primate house, which is now Wild to Louise. It's a little bit older, and I will tell you why in a bit. Um, yeah, but it has a very similar style, and it used to house lions, tigers, snow leopards, and jaguars. And as you can kind of guess, this house isn't really suited to house those cats or those species, but back in the day, that was the way they did things. Anyway, when the zoo was developed or redeveloped about 20 years ago, the Asian lions that were housed in the building and the snow leopards, they were moved elsewhere. Those were the only species left at that time. So they were moved to other enclosures within the zoo, and therefore this house became available to redevelop as well. So we decided to keep it a cat house, but only house smaller cat species within the building. Um, yeah, so as you can see, as it's nearly Halloween and it's full-blown autumn now, I decided to decorate this area as well for the fall season. So there are a lot of different pumpkins and a lot of yeah, typical fall plants, or at least they give the autumn vibes, the orange, the yellows, the purples. Um, yeah, so I really enjoy it. I also made a special episode just on the fall decorations that yeah, the way I decorated it for fall in the other area of the zoo where the administration building is and the pheasant trees, etc. So I'll put a link up in yeah, I'll try to put a link up so you can see that if you haven't. I've also uploaded all the pumpkin and fall decorations to the workshop if you're interested. So I'll put a link in the description as well. Yeah, but let's just start. I've talked enough. Um, and we'll start on the inside. As you can see, we have a lovely statue here, remembering what once was. And then we'll start going inside. I also decided to have fall decorated or fall themed planters here. So we have some of the cabbages and these lantern plants. I'm not completely sure what they're called, and the corn as well. So I decided to have some borders and redevelop them for the autumn season, and then in summer or spring we will change the plants within the borders so they match those vibes. But yeah, as you can see, lovely old building, um, very yeah, traditional zoo house. And as you can see on the left and on the right, those were some enclosures for smaller cats that they would have, or maybe if there was a an animal that needed to be separated, it would be housed there. But as you can see, very small. But as this is a listed building, um, we could not change any of the enclosures that were listed or that were protected because they were so old. So yeah, the cages are still there, but they're no longer in use. And now we have the silhouettes of yeah, a lion on one side and then a tiger or more generic cat on the left side. Yeah. So no longer in use, but still interesting to see and to tell the visitors about what once was. Yeah, I think it's a really cool facade. Looks very pretty, and also with the fall decorations, the pumpkins and the plants. Yeah, I think it looks cool. I really like the vibe. Then going inside on the right and on the left, some statues and artwork. But let's go indoors, and here you can see, um, yeah, the indoor facility of these cat species. Um, I was telling you that this building is a little bit older than the primate house, and you can clearly see that here because even the cages were protected as a monument. So we couldn't change really the appearance of the cages. We could put in some glass instead of the bars, but as the primate house, there's nothing left of the interior, and we could go full on and change it. That wasn't the case here. So the cages are still the same, but yeah, they have been modernized and changed so it's more natural. There was the first inhabitant of one of the enclosures. But let's start on the right here. So yeah, the different enclosures inhabit, of course, different species, but they also represent different habitat types. So this is the jungle. Fortunately, I cannot see any of the animals in here, but this houses a pair of clouded leopards. There is one peeking through the gate. Yeah, so there's a pair of clouded leopards in here, lovely climbing structures, and it's really lush, which I like. And it was a little bit inspired, this at least the lushness and the foliage is inspired by Tea Park Berlin, their indoor enclosure, which is also very lush. So I was like, okay, if they can do it, then we can do it as well in Leiden Zoo. Yeah, but the cloud leopards, they use the climbing structures quite frequently, which is nice to see. And I like that it's really high, and the climbing structures also utilize the height of the enclosure. So at the top, it's not much higher than the enclosure itself. Um, yeah, so we have some tunnels here for the leopards to sleep in if they want to. Yeah, if we continue here, then we have a small keeper area. The keepers can go through the gate here to get up into that keeper area. I'll show you a little bit later. Here is the palace cats indoor enclosure, though they do not really need it in this climate because they are from the Himalaya, so they're used to cold weather. But I think it's nice that they can utilize the space, and otherwise it would be empty. Yeah, so a completely different habitat, really mountainous, a lot of rocks, and some much less foliage, but still it looks quite decent and quite nice actually. Yeah, let's quickly get in here so I can show you one of the keeper areas. So yeah, all the equipment is here, and then there are two doors, one here and one here, of course, so the keepers can enter the enclosures. And then there are these handles that operate the sliding doors to give animals access to outdoor or indoor facilities if needed. We'll go to the left. I really, really love the way these plants look. I think it's really pretty, and it really gives a nice vibe to the overall building, as it's not that clean and concrete as as it would be without all the plants. Just gonna change the lighting so we can actually have a little bit of lighting in here. Um, yeah, that's better. So you already saw this inhabitant, but this is the enclosure for the caracal. yeah, it's again a completely different type of habitat, different ecosystem style. But yeah, I really, yeah, it looks really nice. I'm enjoying it very much, and I also like the dead branches here. You see that in quite some zoos actually, and it really brought it to life. The enclosure. Um, yeah, the caracoles can use all the rock work as well, so they can sit up here or sleep up there. They actually do go all the way up here, which is cool to see. Yeah, so this was more a savanna style enclosure or habitat, and then here we have the last one, which is the sand cats. So this is even more desert like than the caracal, but a very similar enclosure, again with all the dead branches and the rock work. And they do actually use the rock work so they can go all the way up if they want to. And then there is a small cave in here as well if they want some privacy. Look how cute. Yeah, so they're actually able to go inside. I don't know why they're not doing that at the moment, but yeah, I've seen them inside. Look at this view. It's such a zoo vibe as well. I really like it. Yeah, and because it's autumn, of course, there's some leaves compiling on the roof. See if we can find a caracol. Nope. All right, let's move on to the outdoor enclosures because all of these species also have an outdoor enclosure. So we end up at the other side of the building, and here is the palace cat actually. They're so well camouflaged, it's crazy. Most of the time when I look at this enclosure, I just can't find them actually. Yeah, so again, a little bit more lush than inside, but still, yeah, in style with the ecosystem they come from, which I think is good to represent and helps their exhibit their natural behaviors, of course. They can actually go all the way up to this rock if they wanted to, but I rarely see them do that actually. Yeah, let's go this way. So here is the sandcat enclosure. Similar size, but yeah, it's divided differently. There's a little bit more sand, of course, and it's more desert-like. Uh, but then again, also they can use the rock work if they want to. They can go all the way up. Going to the left, we will get to the caracols. And this is probably my favorite enclosure of the building. Normally, I'm not a fan of desert enclosures, but I think this one turned out really well. They're very pretty. Look at those little ears, or not little ears, but the tips on their ears. Very pretty. Yeah, so very similar vibe to what we saw indoor. This is a little enrichment bag, so the keepers can actually put some food in there, some meat into the bag and hang it onto this tree. And then the caracals, they're known for their high jumps. Um, yeah, so the caracals can actually jump towards the bag and try to rip it off the cable, and then they can eat the meat, of course. But yeah, I think it's what I'm really happy with is the way that it feels natural and it looks natural, but it still has these authentic the building is still visible, which I think is good to see, and especially because it's a listed building, it's a monument. It's important to also show that side of the building and of the enclosure. They want to go all the way up. Would be nice. I would also really like about this species is that it's very visible, so they enjoy going onto the rocks and showing themselves off. Where's the second one? And what I also tried to do was extend the foliage type that is inside the enclosure also to the outside. So yeah, you get a little bit more immersion as far as you can call it immersion, of course, in such a small enclosure, and basically it's just a cage. But yeah, to have the habitat extend outside of the enclosure a little bit through use of the foliage. All right, some more fall decorations, some pumpkins, etc. Going around the building, we only have the clouded leopard enclosure left. And of course, there's much more to it, but yeah, it's all covered up because it's all not finished. Here is a small eating area. You can get some cakes from the little food stand over there. And you can sit and enjoy it while sitting in the sun here. I also decided to make this small border fall, yeah, specialized in the fall, so has the same type of plants as in front of the building, and this will change seasonally depending on the season. But there are some pumpkins in here, and again these lantern plants, and the cabbages and the corn, so it gives the same type of vibe actually. If you're wondering where I got these amazing buildings from, they're from the Copenhagen project by Christina and Haribo. Yeah, and I just went in and copied some of them or made blueprints on some of them because they look amazing and it really gives the city vibes now. Um, and it's an amazing backdrop to have in such a zoo. All right, so let's change the lighting again a little bit. That's better. And here are the clouded leopards. As you can see, the climbing is a little bit wonky, but it's the best that we can do, I think. Still really cool to see them use it, actually. Yeah, and there are more than enough climbing structures for them. It's really cool. It's great to see. It's awesome that they actually use it quite well and quite often. Yeah, but then again, completely different habitat style. A lot of much more jungle vibes than the previous or the other enclosures. Yeah. All right. Yeah, if you will continue to loop a little bit so you can see the rest of the building. On this side, I decided to make the foliage a little bit more wild and less manicured because also we have this insect hotel here, so they're all native plants and grasses, etc., to change up the foliage style a little bit in this area. Yeah, and then we're back at the back side of the building. Let's walk through one more time, and then there's also the keeper doors. So the keepers can access these enclosures. but yeah, I'm incredibly happy with how it looks. It still is, it still has these historical feelings to it, but in a modern way, and it's decent. There are decent enclosures for the species that are housed in it, which I think is great. And we're back where we started. I hope you enjoyed it. It was very nice to build it, and yeah, please let me know what you think. Leave a like or comment and subscribe, and hopefully I'll have another episode of Leiden Zoo in the next few months whenever I have the time and the energy to work on it. But yeah, this was a really fun build, so I hope you enjoy watching it. See you in the next one. Bye bye.